show you a flip through of my May planner setup featuring my Cocoa Daisy inserts as well as a few others. Before I did that, I wanted to show you real fast a final flip through of my April Cocoa Daisy inserts and show you how they ended up looking. So this is stuff for my other flip through, but here in my calendar section, you remember last time I showed you my April setup and how I took the B6 inserts and cut them apart and punched them and put them in here. And so this is what it ended up looking like. My goals page and then the start of my planner pages. And you can see I made them 7 days. There's no room for notes or anything like that, but that's not what I use these inserts for anyway, so it worked out perfectly. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laid out like that. So you can see where I have all of the weeks. And then I haven't finished up, you know, like this is this week, and then that's next week. And then I'm going to use these middle pages as like a final monthly recap and my thoughts on it, and add some pictures and kind of like a big huge monthly journal entry. And I haven't gotten to that yet. I'll do that next week at the end of the month. But this starts my journal section. I don't know if you remember where I showed you how I washi-ed some tip-ins and just re-listed the weeks starting here on the 1st. And then here on the tip-ins, I put funny things from the day, favorite things, something that meant a lot to me, something I really wanted to kind of emphasize. So you can see that I used it. I put some pictures in, not a ton, but you know, some weeks had more than others. I'm obviously behind on this week because today's Thursday and I haven't done these days yet. But you know, I'll finish that up this week as well. And this one lonely picture, because I have a whole bunch of others I need to print off on my zip and fill in these pages and then add to the monthly middle pages. But then back here, I just took a bunch of pictures that couldn't fit on the weekly pages back here because maybe too much happened in the week, and I just put them back here with little captions. So that's how I use these inserts. And now that I'm done, I'm going to pop these out and I will put in my May inserts when the time comes for May and start all over again. I'm going to put these in a Recollections 6-ring binder that I have just to store them. And then at the end of the year, I'd love to go get them all bound together into one book, just with like a spiral binding or something like that at Staples or Office Max. So we'll see how that works. But I just wanted to show you real fast how a first full month ended up looking in here. I absolutely love it. It means so much to me. I had so much fun writing this stuff. It was so easy to do, obviously except for this week, but it took 5 minutes a day, if that, and it was perfect. And these inserts are just perfect for planning in the front and memory keeping in the back. My mullet insert, remember I told y'all. So hang on just 1 second and I'll be back to show you my May setup. Hey everybody, it's Jen. I'm back to film the second half of the video, and I've tried to do this for 2 days, so hopefully we can get through it fast and I can show you what I have going on for my May setup. This is my Cocoa Daisy Foxy Fix. I still use it. I used it last month as well. It's my favorite. I've tried other colors to match kits and I can't do it. I always come back to this, so I'm staying in it. It still has my By Grace Alone embossing on the front and the Fox and Pip bow on the side. So here's what you see when you open up my planner. It is obviously pretty stuffed. Like you can see how it looks when it's shut. It's pretty thick, So when you open it up, all my inserts kind of tip to the side, but that's okay. Here in the front pocket, I have just these doilies. I kept them. I had them in there last month and I thought they still looked really pretty, so I left them in there. This card from Cocoa Daisy, I think the colors are gorgeous, so I left it in there. Some stickers from the May Cocoa Daisy kit. I just think they're really pretty. I keep some other ones in there too, but I took them out yesterday. And these clips, they're all from Cocoa Daisy, and so is this card. This is a puffy sticker that I just glued together. And you okay? And this is a paper clip that I taped the back of it to right there. You can see, so that way when I put it in here, it still shows the text. This is an acetate from the May Cocoa Daisy add-on kit, I believe, and it actually came as like a 10 by 10. Come here, baby. It actually came as like, okay. Hi, can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. This is Audrey. She's going to help me film real fast. So this came as like a 10 by 10, but it, I was gonna frame it and hang it up somewhere, but I loved it. Like I absolutely loved how it looked, and I wanted to see it in my planner every day. So I cut it up. Here, just sit right here. Just sit down on your bottom, right here. There you go. And so I cut it into 2 pieces and I layered it. I cut the first piece right here, and just so the pencils would go all the way over to the side, and then I cut the second piece to layer over the first. And I love how it turned out. I'm so happy with it. After that, I just have dashboards and some die cuts, more decorations, and then my inbox. I've talked before about how much this inbox has helped with my prioritizing of what needs to get done and stuff like that. I laminate either a free printable from Cocoa Daisy or a matching card that came in the kit. And this time I did a card. It's a little bit thicker and sturdier than just the printable. And so I laminated it, and I chose this one because I love the quote. And so I'm kind of making this into a vision board for the month, vision board slash inbox slash everything. I loved this quote. I love this die cut from my friend Trisha, and I loved this. It says, we are what we choose, the people we let stay, and the things that we keep. I love that, and it's just every time I open it up, I can remind myself of these things, to trust in God and, you know, for confidence and stuff like that. So I keep the sticky notes here on the back. And anytime something desperately needs to be done, or if it's something that, even if it's not desperate, it's just like, Jen, you have to get this done, I stick it right here. Like yesterday, I was taking my kids and dropping them off somewhere, and I was driving right past a place where I needed to pick up a oven part to repair our oven, and so I stuck it here to remind myself, because I check my planner every time I'm walking out the door to see what needs to get done while I'm out. And it said, pick up oven part. Y'all, we haven't had an oven for 2 weeks. You can tell how often I cook, but I knew we had to pick it up because we do need to have our oven for important things like frozen pizza and brownies and cookies and stuff like that. So I picked it up, and actually as soon as I finish filming this video, I'm going to repair it myself. So we'll get into that, you know, later on, but excuse me. So I keep the sticky notes back here. As soon as I'm done with stuff, I just throw it away. So, and then back here I have a sticky pocket from the Cocoa Daisy kit. It came in a pack of 2, and there are 2 sizes, this size and then a larger size back in the back, you'll see in a minute. And I just stuck some things in here, but this is for other things that kind of need to get done that might already be written down either on a note or on a card, you know, not so much a sticky note situation. So, and then this is from Planning Made Perfect. It's Paisley, and it's so cute, and so I just keep her with me. This is the April Planner Challenge. The May Journal Everyday Challenge is coming up. We're journaling instead of doing planner prompts, and I'm getting ready to go print it off from the store. I'll link the link down below to go print it off, and you can print it off in whatever size you need for your planner. This is actually a B6 size, and so I just printed it off and trimmed it to personal wide size and then punched it. Here's some cards, pictures and stuff like that. Here's my calendar, which is my biggest section. Another pretty little dashboard. Here's the bigger pocket. It was actually so big that it covered the entire dashboard. I didn't want to punch into it because I was afraid it would eventually peel up, so I trimmed it myself and then refused it with my fuse tool. And this is just for more storage, basically, to put more things in here. Here's my yearly overview. Here's my monthly. I'll take this out once I'm done with April. I need to finish filling out May. Here's my May overview. I need to start filling out important things to get done, and I'm really going to tackle my to-do list and try to get stuff done. Thank you. Since we're slowing down with school and everything. More vellum, and then this starts the B6 insert that is my actual planning weekly inserts. This comes stapled together as an insert for your traveler's notebook, and I cut it apart. It's very simple to do. You just cut it down the middle, but then after you take the staples out and then trim it right down the middle. After you cut it down the middle and separate it into 2 halves though, you need to trim it. It does need trimmed a little bit. You trim like 1/8 of an inch off here and 1/8 of an inch off here, and then 1/8 of an inch off the top, and it ends up working out perfectly. What you want to make sure you do though, don't be like Jen, don't be like me. You want to make sure that you cut it in half, then trim it, and then hole punch it before you put the stickers in for your dates, because it's an undated planner. That way you don't end up like this, where you punch through the dates, because that's what I did. Last month, I didn't do that. I cut it in half, punched it, put it in, put my stickers in, then shut my planner and realized that the inserts were too big, so I had to take them back out and trim them. Because I already had the holes punched, I had to trim on the outside, and it came right up to the edge of these stickers. So you want to make sure you follow the steps of remove the staples, cut in half, trim either side, trim the top, hole punch, then lay your stickers down, because it's not going to bother me, but next month I will do better so that the date's moved over and it's not punched through, just so that you can clearly see them because they're so gorgeous. Back here, this is my mullet planner. Remember, guys, I did it last month, planning in the front and party in the back with my memory keeping. This month it's going to be the journaling, but I'm going to mix journaling and memory keeping because I put my tip-ins back in here. Now, I know you remember last month where I stuck the tip-in there. Hang on, baby, you're pulling stuff. There we go. I stuck the tip-in there just to give me more space to journal. Okay, well, I'm going to do the same thing this month, except I'll do the journal prompts on each day. See, and I did put the stickers on here before I cut this time, so I really need to do better next month. But then for memory keeping, I'll write something fun down right here that I want to remember, and then I'll do like a weekly overview with like the stickers and stuff, not stickers, but the pictures and stuff for memory keeping. And so I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a mix. It'll be the best of both worlds. And then here at the end of the month, I will do like I did last month and just print off more pictures with captions, just like a recap of the month. And so I'm really looking forward to what this insert will be when it's done. Here's another picture pocket thing. These are my task inserts. These are from So Much Crafting, and they're perfectly wide enough to fit everything. They fit these stickers, which is perfect. I'm super excited about this. They fit all of the sticker kits that came in the EC stickers. And for that matter, so do these. The previous time that I was trying to film this before I got cut off by a phone call, I showed you how the checklists right here fit in here for checklist. You can divide your page in half if you want, so on and so forth. But they also fit perfectly in here for the tasks, which is right back here. And you can see, like, let me show you. Like, here's a today sticker. It fits perfectly. These are EC with boxes. These are from So Much Crafting, and so these stickers fit perfectly. I'll get you one, baby. I'll get you one. Leave that one alone. I used to have my tasks and my to-dos in with my planning section, but it just became so busy, and I didn't like having so much in there, and I felt like it made it hard to read. So I separated it out into two sections. I do rewrite what we do, but that is just so that I can plan stuff that we have to do here. Like, I knew I had to go to pick up the stove thing, but the place was right beside where I was dropping my kids off. And so instead of making 2 trips, you know, I just had this written down so I could say, oh, okay, I'll do that when I take them down there. And it's just worked out really perfectly for me and for my planning and prioritizing things. So I love it very much. This is my today section. These are daily to-dos from Cocoa Daisy. This is from the April kit. I haven't put the May kit in yet, but it's perfect for days that I have super busy days. Stuff to do, a lot of stuff to do for school, a lot of errands to run, a lot of phone calls to make, stuff like that. And then here on the back, if I have a lot of phone calls to make or stuff to write down about what I've done, I jot it down right here. And then once I've put that information where it needs to be, either by making an appointment or doing something else, I take this out. I don't keep a ton of these in here, just a couple at a time, and use them when I need to. After that is my pre-planning section. This are week on 1-page inserts, and I color code and pre-plan all the way up through the end of December. As soon as 2019 comes out, they may already be out. I'll grab them and I'll start sticking months in for them, because you can see I already have a few things planned in 2019. And I try to keep back dates in here. Like, you can see this goes back to the beginning of April. It actually goes further than that, back to February, because it never fails that I'm somewhere and somebody said, what day did we do this? And I flip back as far as I can to see if I have it. I obviously don't keep months and months and months past in there, but I do keep them a few at a time. Like, maybe when we get into the summer, I'll take February out, February, March, you know, so on and so forth. But still, just being at the end of April, I keep the past couple months because it doesn't hardly take up any space. So it's just been a super helpful section as well. Next, I have notes, which is just grid pages, brain dump stuff, nothing really interesting in there. Then I have my die cut from Live, Light, and Create. I blew it up super big, printed it out, put some glitter on it, stuck it in here, and I love it. This is my social section. This is where I have ideas for my own personal blog that I write, as well as for my Cocoa Daisy responsibilities, like my social media stuff like that. How gorgeous is this card? I love this entire divider. I might have to leave it in for a little while because it's gorgeous. But this is where I keep track of my Cocoa Daisy responsibilities and times to post, time to write blogs, time to film videos, stuff like that. So that goes in here. Here's a little pocket from Foxy. Here is my Planning Made Perfect Paisley dressed up in Hufflepuff, which is my collars. I'm still waiting on a Hogwarts letter, y'all, but until then, Paisley and I'll hang out dressed up as our Hogwarts students. But anyway, this is my family section, and by family section, I mean medical family section. I have 5 kids, and I track their appointments. I showed you last month how I do it. I color code them by kid. I have 5 kids. I have this 5-color pen. I don't do it chronologically, like I don't do my daughter, my son, my other daughter, my first daughter, like that. They each have a couple of pages, and then whenever my, that way I can flip to that kid's section and then check by date. Like I don't jumble them all up together. But that way, if, you know, like my middle daughter's getting ready to have ear surgery again. She's had several. She has problems with her ears, and she's having surgery next week. And the last time we were at the specialist, he said, now how many ear infections has she had this year? He said, let me call the doctor, her other doctor, and see if I can have them send over the records. And I said, I can tell you. And I flipped right to her section, and I counted up how many she's had since last April, because she's had a lot. And I told him, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's so helpful. But I keep all of that in here. I just write the date, the time of the appointment, the name of which doctor we go to, the reason, and the notes. And then I do also, in between each kid, put, let me find it. In between each kid, I put a line sheet or a grid sheet for any additional notes that I need, and I just date it, you know, and then I can look over to whatever date it was and see what else I wrote down. So it is super helpful, and seriously has been one of the most useful sections in my planner, and why I carry it with me everywhere. I also have these things that are laminated right here are the emergency action plans for asthma and for anaphylaxis, because my son has both. And it has the name of our doctor, the treatment plan for what to do, how many times to give him medicine, where to call, what to do, so on and so forth. And I just printed it off from the website, laminated it, and punched it, and it's been super helpful. Okay, my last section is my miscellaneous section, and it's just straight fun things. With stuff lightening up for summer, I just have several different inserts in here that I wanted to keep. The first are these book inserts from Annie Plans Printables. These are the books my daughter has to read next year for school. And so all of these, and so it's quite a lot. So we were going to get a jump start on it this summer and just read. Honestly, as a family, some of these are good family books. So I just wrote them down here, and I'm going to add more to try to read, because we're a huge reading family. And so I wrote these down, and then I'll write books that I want to read for fun, and it might not be family books, and excuse me, stuff like that. After that, we have movie inserts from Annie Plans. Same deal. We love going to movies. We love watching movies. And so we have a large family, so going to movies can be expensive, but we ask for gift cards, and then we take advantage of the free summer movies throughout the summer and go when we're home and stuff like that. So I just have this written down for movies that we may go to, and stuff like that. And so, you know, it's just a couple pages, but still I thought it'd be fun to keep track and what we thought of them and so on and so forth. And it's also a good place to write down movies, because it never forgets. It never fails. You write down a movie you want to see, and then you don't get to see it. And then like 2 weeks later, when it's movie night and you're trying to decide on a movie, you don't remember what it was. So I'm going to write these down in here. And then the same thing for the TV shows. With all of our shows winding down, my husband and I binge shows in the summer that we maybe haven't seen before. And so I'm keeping track of these in here. I'm a little bit embarrassed to tell you that we've never watched The Office. But we're watching it now, and it's absolutely hilarious. I need to go through and highlight, because we're actually almost done with season 3, so I need to get back and highlight those. But that's just something fun. And then this is the Perpetual Calendar from So Much Crafting. It's really not a Perpetual Calendar as much as it is just lined, because you can see it's obviously 2018. So, but I tried carrying the Erin Condren Perpetual Calendar, and I lost it all the time, and it was such a pain carrying something else. So I stuck these in here, and I'm going to use it as a perpetual calendar, even though it says 2018, because obviously the weekends are shaded, but that's not going to affect me. Like, I can look and see that my daughter's birthday is on the 20th and not that it was on a Saturday. Like, it's not going to throw me off. So I'm going to keep this in here as a perpetual calendar for birthdays and anniversaries and stuff like that. And it's just super helpful because, you know, relying on Facebook all the time to pop up a notification that it's somebody's birthday isn't always the most helpful thing. So, and then, like I've told you before, my fold-out calendar map, it will forever be in my planner, even during summer breaks, because we use it then too. And then the Foxy page lifter, and then just some stuff in the pockets. I don't really have much there in the back, but there you have it. That is my May setup. Like I told you, it's not outrageously different. I found a system that works for me, and so I don't deviate from it too much. I do like to change out the decorations, like the cards and everything behind the dividers. These are all from the May Cocoa Daisy kit. And like I told you before, I did it this way, keeping these same clear dividers in here, instead of making these into dividers and putting tabs on them and laminating them. And here's a good reason why. Like, this card right here is from the April kit, and I just thought it looked gorgeous behind here. But if I had made this into a divider, like say I'd made it into a divider with a tab and it had been my family tab, then it would have been tabbed right here and laminated it, and I wouldn't have been able to put it up here. So keeping these clear dividers with the tabs on them for my sections and still being able to see the different patterns behind has worked absolutely perfect, and I'm thrilled with how that works. So I can still see the beautiful colors and kits that come together and they match, but that way I can reuse them because I know that another kit will come out at some point that I can mix and match and complement with, and I'm just thrilled about that. So that's why I do it that way. But I enjoyed showing this to you all. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'm sorry it was so long. I said it was going to be quick after trying for 2 days to get this done, and then I rambled, but I appreciate it. I will link all of the stuff below again, and if y'all have any questions, just let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.